Hey guys, it's Deathline. I'm here to give a commentated tutorial on how to do Noki 2 Jumpless, being a goal. Be covering the best ways to climb the mountain and taking on the task that is a jumpless goal. So, first things first, what is jumpless? You cannot do a grounded jump, which is being on the ground and pressing the A button. You cannot jump. You cannot do double jump, you cannot triple jump, you cannot do hover jump into double jump. You can't do jump. So with that in mind, you might be wondering, how is this possible? And there's two main ways of getting around this. Dive rollouts and wall kicks. And you might be going, well, they're called wall jumps. Well, no, they're wall kicks. And I like to think of it as we call the strat GWK, go to wall kick, and not GWJ instead of K for jump, it's kick. So when you get into Noki 2, the first thing to notice is there is poison water, since you're still in Noki 2, obviously. And there's two ways to go around the water. You come over to here, and then you just hover, and you get around it. Or you can do the normal fast method, which is once you load in, you start buffering a spray into a hover slide. And either method is fine as long as you don't land in the water, because if you're in the water, you cannot hover straight out of the water. And since you can't hover, you're not allowed to jump out of the water either, like that, because that counts against jumping. So there's two ways to deal with this. Either exit area and try again, or you can swim under the water and just take your little bit of time. So these strats are really about positioning yourself well and understanding how dive rollouts work and how wall kicks work. So dive rollout is like that, but obviously you can hold back on the stick. This is me holding all the way forward, and this is me holding back. Mario goes not quite as far when you're holding straight back. And that's important because of momentum in this game. Momentum really determines the horizontal speed determines if Mario will bonk into a wall versus if he will not. So full speed, I'm going to bonk into this wall. But if I'm at the right distance and at the right speed and holding back, I'll start wall sliding. And that's the biggest obstacle in Noki 2 Jumpless, is just knowing how to get effective wall slides. So the first thing for up here, you're want to have your hover out, and then you want to dive roll out and start doing wall kicks up this side. Now once you're here, if you can avoid it, I like to do a wall jump off this and hover to this section. If you don't make it up there and instead ledge grab and you climb up, that's fine, because you can just normally hover to this. Be careful when you're on the ledge, because sometimes if you grab a corner, right on the corner, you'll get an instant ledge pull up, which this corner doesn't seem to have one, but there is a couple in like that. You'll get an instant ledge pull up. These are dangerous because you will not be prepared for them, and you might instantly buffer a jump out of it because you're trying to do a ledge pull up, which is allowed. You can do ledge pull ups like that. So that's one thing to be really cautious of if you happen to be grabbing on a ledge. And that's why I usually, when I'm ledge grabbing, I'll do the slow get up, which is holding forward on the control stick. Mario do a slow get up instead of pressing A, which gives you a fast get up. From here, this is one of the hardest walls since you don't have a ton of space, so I like to angle myself right into the corner here. And I like to hover backwards a little bit, just to give myself enough space to pull back and give myself time to reduce the momentum and get a wall jump. From here, once you're up here, you can actually manage to hover all the way over here from this first wall jump. But if you don't, you just hover and hover. Here, same kind of thing. You're going to aim for this middle section, and then you're going to wall jump off this little platform right here. And you're up here. This is a pretty common section for me to bonk in, just because I'm trying to go too fast. It looks something like this, where you just kind of bonk. You just kind of take your time, reset, And another thing to be kind of wary of is how far you're trying to dive roll out from. Because if you do it too far, you're going to get really low on the wall, and then you're not going to be able to wall jump in time, and then you'll buffer a double jump. Kind of like that. Well, that was a wall jump, but kind of like that. That's pretty common when first starting out with this strat. So you want to have enough distance to know where you're going to wall jump and have enough time to perform the wall jump action. Once you're up here on the slope, you're about halfway through, and this is probably the second hardest part for newer players doing this strat. What I like to do is dive roll out on the slope so you can start getting momentum runs, and then from here you're gonna get on this little section and hover and get a ledge grab on this cog. You can do it from about here, but I try to aim for right around here. And you want to come all the way over. I like to turn the camera around so I can actually see what I'm doing. From here, we're gonna press B to get into wall slide, and then buffer a spin jump, and then buffer more spin jumps off those walls. Once again, it looks a little bit like, start from the bottom. Once you're here, come up, ledge grab, turn the camera around. I got an instant ledge drop there because I was holding forward and the camera was turned around, so you want to be careful about pressing on the stick too early before pressing B. And then the last thing to note is you can't go like straight forward here because you're just going to come back. So you do need to hold a little bit left during your spin jumps here to get up to here. You only need it to make it to this platform right here. You don't actually need to make it to the one right here, which you cannot hover to my knowledge. Because you're just not going to make it. So, getting back up there. One more time. Once you're here, you're just have to do one more wall kick, and you're pretty much home free from this section. Make sure you do a full wall jump. If you get a short wall jump, you might not have enough height to hover all the way up here. So you want to do just hold down A after your wall jump and get a full wall kick. I know we say wall jump, but it's basically a wall kick, which is legal. From here, this is pretty much the same as normal Noki 2. You just make sure to not jump. You can dive roll out hover, you can dive roll out spray, you can just spray it, spray the spring, and pick it up. Just make sure you don't jump. From here, to be absolutely safe, because normally what you do when you throw the spring in the corner is you hold up and you jump dive to get enough space. You can just hold forward and dive. I don't like doing that because it's a little risky. So just to be safe, I will hover a little bit and then dive. And then once I'm near the bottom, I will press Y to go into first person cam to angle where I'm going. Hold forward, hover a little bit, dive, Y. You saw I did a little bit of a roll out cancel there, like this. That's also legal because that's not a jump. Once you're down here, you have just a little bit more to go. So this is the section where you need to be really careful about hovering into corners, because you can very easily get an instant ledge pull up, depending on where it is you land on the pedestal. Like that. So you don't want to buffer or jump down here because that would be very sad. From here, you can either dive ground pound or you can just hover into the shine, whatever is easier. And that is Noki 2 Jumpless. So I'm going to go ahead and do it one more time in full speed now. So you can kind of see all of the pieces in motion and get a full completed run without me talking over everything. And this is what I mean by camera angle. You want to have a good camera angle here because it's going to be hard if you don't have a good camera angle. And that is how to do Noki 2 Jumpless. Again, the key factors to really consider are where you position yourself with your dive rollouts and making sure you just don't get an accidental jump when you're aiming for a wall kick. So yeah, thanks for watching and I hope this helps.